Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Portsmouth. Now then, in the last episode we had our 2-0 defeat against Crystal Palace and I was annoyed, but it's one of those things that just seems to keep happening, and it's frustrating because we are struggling a little bit this season, it's fair to say. We've had an interesting month. Everything has kind of been a bit backwards this month. I really have to say that, make that very, very clear. It's been very strange. Our first game of the month was away at Huddersfield Town, and I've been still experimenting with a tactic to try and find something that works. And I think I've settled now that our direct style of play seems to yield much better results and have more chances in games than our other tactics. And you might look at this one and think, well, yeah, 3-3, you were lucky to get something from this game. No, we fucking weren't. I'm serious. That we were we went in front through Ryan Smith on 11 minutes, and we were dominating this game. Let's see if Ryan Smith's actually improved a bit this month. He has a little bit. His corners, anticipation, bravery, that's good. That needs to go up a lot. Have improved slightly. He actually got a header, would you believe, despite that being his worst possible thing he could do. He was completely unmarked and managed to get a header into the bottom corner, which was fantastic. Then Graziano Pella, who actually plays for Huddersfield Town, no offence Huddersfield fans, in this save now, was able to level with a long-range effort. Would you believe, a long-range effort? Then, on 53 minutes, still they hadn't had a clear-cut chance yet. At this point, we are 3-0 up on clear-cuts. And not that that matters, I know, but it's still frustrating when you see it there and you're like, why are we not scoring these? He then scored another one. Basically, not a clear-cut chance. It wasn't a clear-cut chance either. Then, Kevin McAvoy, who's been a hero for me this month again, was there to make it 2-2 when it really counted. And Charlie Musonda's goal was an absolute rocket. He got the ball sort of not really on the edge of the area, somewhere around that kind of vicinity. We're talking like he was around about here. And he absolutely leathered it. And it was a great goal. And I thought, right, 3-2 up at Huddersfield. We're getting what we deserve in this game. We then had another chance, which Jed Wallace put away, which was apparently offside. It was not offside. I shit you not. It was definitely not offside because he was running into the box. Like, he made a late run. There was a guy offside, but it wasn't Jed Wallace. And, irritating. And then, of course, naturally, I then had to throw it onto our defensive style for the last couple of minutes of the game just to try and see it out. We didn't see it out. Long shot, parried by Paul Jones, and Anthony Gerrard puts into an empty net. Very, very frustrating. They had a lot of shots in this game, but I felt we were definitely valid for the win. We were good. We created the better chances. It's really, really frustrating. And then in our next game, things got even worse. And I'm not even joking. Against Middlesbrough, this was a joke of a game. I mean, how? I mean, this is our fault. They scored a goal. Like, they scored the goal. There's no denying that. Callum Higginbotham's goal was a goal. He put through on goal and he scored. You can't really do... I don't think it was even as simple as that. I think it was a long-range effort again, actually. Let me think about this. Was it? How close was it? No, of course not. They didn't have any clear-cut chances. They still won. And we managed to not have a single goal with 20 shots, 6 on target, all the possession, just... We were dominating them. We just could not put the fucking ball in the net. It was so annoying. And, yeah, that started to worry me here. It's not been a good day for me so far in terms of winning games on FM on both my series. So this was not looking like it was going to be a good day for me either. And then we had our Lord and Saviour. Basically, this game could have easily gone either way. At first, we were doing quite well and creating a few chances. Then they really did step up in this game. Anthony Wordsworth's goal on 4 minutes actually put Ipswich in front, but we managed to equalise through John Marquis before half-time, and I was quite confident that the tactic we'd assembled at this point was really starting to work. In the second half, they really did come at us, and David McGoldrick was able to get in there and make it 2-1. I thought, oh, God, here we go again. Just to quickly point out, again, I think it was 2-2. So, in fact... We were maybe a little bit lucky to get away with the win there, but I will take it with all the bad luck we've been having this month in those sort of situations. I will take this win. They can go fuck themselves. 5 minutes after McGoldrick's goal, Kenneth McAvoy. He cannot stop scoring. He is getting in on the end of rebounds so often, it is unbelievable. Kieran Griffiths had an absolutely stunning game as well, assisting on 2 of these goals. And Jed Wallace in the 91st minute stepped in and won us the match. His marking, leadership and positioning are going up too, which is kind of cool. 1.3 million he's worth now. Masonda picked up a knock in this game, and I don't think it's too bad, though, from what I remember. So we've managed to win that one. It's still horrifically tight down there. Like, we could drop into the relegation zone with a simple... I mean, Brighton, who we've beaten this year, I think, have just sacked their manager, so there is that. And that's not really that difficult to understand why their performance has been pretty poor. But I think we should have beaten Huddersfield away, and we should have beaten Blackburn away. Those are the two games that we really should have won. And that would give us a much more comfortable points tally at this stage, and it's a shame. But we're still above water. And the fact is, I'd like to point out, we've not been battered at any stage this year. No one has really hammered us. We've always been there. We've just been so close and been unlucky, and that's the thing I can take from it. We've only got a -4 goal difference, which is not bad when you look at like how bad we've been playing. Middlesbrough in a sort of similar boat to us, as are the likes of Watford and Brentford, but they have more games than us. So a win for us today would take us up and above some of these teams, including potentially Ipswich. We'll just have to wait and see about that, and potentially Bournemouth as well. So there's a lot of things riding for it, but it is going to be a horrifically tough game against Fulham, who are having a good season, my team in real life, but they started off a lot stronger, and they've sort of tail off a little now. I'm just going to quickly give you a little tactical run through of the things we've changed now. So this is the tactic that I'm using sort of full time here, which is our direct style of play tactic. So it's basically the same kind of thing, but with more direct passing, exploiting the flanks and overlaps, closing down less still, preventing short goalkeeper distribution, higher tempo, drop deeper, run at defence, work ball into box. If we then get ourselves ahead and we're like 10 minutes to go, I will switch to the other tactic, which has a defensive midfielder and is set to defensive and structured and just to defend like crazy, basically. It doesn't always work, and as we found out against Huddersfield, it definitely didn't work. But there's not a lot I could do. We had to defend. There's no point in us staying on overload. That would have cost us even more, I'd have thought. The other things I've changed is that we've turned off Marcus to, or not Marcus, but the striker to shoot more. I had a lot of players on shoot more, and I had the fullbacks on close down more, which I didn't need, because that goes against our tactics. Plus, when I played Eccleston up front, he was always shooting when he was one-on-one, but he would shoot from like here rather than getting into the box. It was really frustrating. So turning that off seems to have helped a little bit. And it, well, clearly did, because we actually beat Ipswich. I'm hoping, though, that these little changes now can start to provide us with something awesome. Now, Fulham are playing a sort of 4-1-2-2-1. Is that Carl Lafferty? Ah, Girafferty. Interesting. Who else have they got? Oh, we'll find out in a minute. Also, let's take a little look at the squad, since we have actually scored some goals this month. Top goal scorer is Kenneth McAvoy with 6. Masonda with 4. Marcus has 3. So he's our top striker. Assists, Jed Wallace with 6, but Kieran Griffiths has 4 assists as well. Player of the match, no one's really stood out there yet to get more than 1. Pass rating, Kieran Griffiths isn't bad. Mantum isn't bad. Stanis Baratheon has been being a pain in my arse. Again, complaining about not getting first team football. You are a rotation player. You are not expected to start every fucking game. It's really really frustrating that. That is the one thing that is most annoying of this entire game, I think, for me, is the players constantly wanting first team football when they're not first team players. And he's getting games too, and it just, and then I get bad morale, and then they go, oh, unhappy with how you've been treating him. Shut up! But yeah, one of those things. Yellow cards, top. Oh, he's actually got 5, and Manta will be suspended for this game, so that's annoying. No reds, thankfully. Average rating, Kieran Griffiths is our best average rating player, which is quite not really much of a surprise for me. In fact, he's been unbelievable for us this year. Some of his passing displays have been phenomenal. Right, guys, sorry about that. I just got slightly interrupted there, but no worries. We're back, and I just noticed that Fulham's manager is Tony Mowbray. I think. Interesting. Anyway, right, let's get into the game. I'm just going to play our standard direct style. It's worked for us quite well in the last game, and I'm hoping we can do something against Fulham. Just do a quick pick to get rid of Sam Mantum out of the team. No way in hell I'm starting Ryan Smith. I'm sorry, he's just not good enough. And I don't think he's going to have much of a career at Chelsea either. He's just, as much as like there are other stats that are important, he cannot head the ball for shit. He doesn't have he's not brave, so he's not going to stick his head in there anyway. And his jumping reach is terrible. All of those stats, I think, are just going to really hold him back as a footballer. So as much as he's worth some money, I think in order to have him, you'd have to have a team built around a certain style of play that is low crosses, long balls, not long balls, like short passing, like Arsenal maybe. But even so, still, you want a player that can head a ball. Kieran Griffiths, I think, will be starting in place of Masonda for me, because Griffiths has been superb lately, like genuinely out of this world. He's a little bit knackered, so again, Masonda may have to come in this game, but I'd rather start Griffiths. I'm going to start Eccleston for this one. The back line is Watmore really... Watmore could really do with a rest, and this may have to be the game that it happens, I think. Acre is okay in that role. Is Hyam better than Acre? I prefer to play Hyam in there, because I'd like to be able to bring Acre on later if we are in a bit of... If we're in the lead, so we can bring him on as that defensive midfield role. So that is kind of what we're going to go with for today's game. I just really hope we can come up with something special here against Fulham. I want to get one over on my actual team. I was talking to a guy the other night about how much it hurts when your real life team batters you on Football Manager, and I worry that that could happen to us right now. So who have they got? Stanchu, George Williams, Patrick Roberts, Emerson Hyman, Yakuba Silla, Dele Alli, Charlie Mulgrew, Dan Byrne, Thiago Casasola. Who's this? Todd Kane. I don't know who that is. Who did he play for in real life? Chelsea, okay. And Willie Caballero. Interesting. So Girafity isn't actually going to start. Gamboa, Ryan Shotton, Lassie Vegan. They've got some decent players. That's no big surprise there. I just think, fuck it, let's go. Let's do this. What you got for me, Sylvan? Yep, go for it, bro. That will do. His tactical tip, I think that has actually helped us a little bit, allowing him to take over those instructions rather than having the same instructions for every game. I think it's allowed us a little bit more variation and stopped us. I think that's why we were like losing some games, winning some games with the same tactic against like teams with the same formation, because the way they played is still slightly nuanced. Right, let's get this game going. If we can beat Fulham here at Fratton Park, that would be bloody brilliant and would give us a real confidence boost, frankly. But we've been quite decent at home, other than the Middlesbrough game, which was a real sad day for us. So we've got to watch out for Paddy Roberts, though. He is quick and he's like mini Messi at times. Ball out to Todd Kane. Todd Kane whips one in and it's going to be clear. Oh, well saved. Well done, Jonesy. Okay, it's great to see us actually defend one of those situations properly. Look, they had a clear-cut chance and they didn't score. Could be a good day if that's the sort of thing that's going to happen. Ball played up to Yakuba Silla. We're not looking good, but it is only 5 minutes in and there's already 2 highlights. So I'm hoping that we can win the ball off of Fulham at some point here and maybe we'll catch them on the break here. I don't know. They look like they're playing the ball around quite nicely. Roberts. Don't let him shoot. Don't let him shoot. Don't let him shoot. Somebody put a tackle in and Roberts' shot is going to go wide, but just stick a foot in. You're right there. You don't need to close him down. You're already on him. It's not been a great start from us. Fulham are looking quite decent, and our style of play does not seem to be suiting this game at all today. The one time this system doesn't have that kind of desired effect is the one time I really, really need it to. So we're going to get to half-time, and I might switch things up a little bit at half-time, since we've only really created those 3 shots. We've done well at the back, but I think we need to change up the style a little bit. Really? Come on, Adam. Oh, well, there you go, that's better. It's like basically the managerial equivalent of a pat on the head. It'll be all right, son. Let's go to tactics and change things up a little bit. I'm going to go for this style. Nothing's changed apart from some of the team instructions. So that's good because it means they'll pretty much not have to do anything. I'm hoping that this new slightly varied style of play, so we will still play some short passes in the second half a little bit more. Try to break them down like that, because at the moment it's not happening for us. I don't know whether it's going to be such a giant change that it's going to create anything, but I tell you what, I wouldn't mind a 0-0 draw here against Fulham. They've been a much better side than us today. This is quite poor from us, actually. We've not looked like the team that I've seen in the last few games. It's another shot from us, but it's again from a long way out. Cleared away, but we've got the ball and we've got them penned in a little bit. And, you know, the shorter passing style has enabled us to at least get a little bit more of the ball. And Griffiths! Oh, chance of Pompey there. Kieran Griffiths. Tough angle, though. Really, really tough. Oh, Giraffety's on. Let's see. Eccleston's not been great today, so I'm going to say Marcus can come in. Who is looking knackered? I'm going to bring in Watmore for Hyam, actually, just because it's Jack Watmore. He's a better player. And Griffiths has not had a good game, unfortunately. I'm going to make the triple sub. I'm doing it. Masonda's going to come on. I'm going to give him a run. Here, we've got 20 minutes to go here against Fulham. I'm not going to go defensive because I would still like to see us have a chance of winning this game. You know, maybe we can do a smash and grab job on them for once, on someone else. Even if we got a 0-0 here, I'd be pretty pleased with it. Todd Kane is getting too much space. You're right. I think a lot of those crosses that have been put in well from Fulham have come from Todd Kane at that right back position. Kieran Clark. Kieran Clark plays for Fulham now? Jesus. And, well, this is looking like an absolute damp squib of a game. Unless Wallace... No, it's a poor ball in, and that is it. I'm so sorry, guys. It's Portsmouth 0, Fulham 0. But I got to tell you, I don't think it was that disappointing. Like, we didn't play very well. That is abundantly clear, and we could have easily lost this game. But Fulham didn't really create a great deal of good chances, and that's a good point for us. It's a point that moves us above Watford, now 2 points clear of Brighton and the relegation spots, and right in the pack. I mean, look, a win could move it all the way up there. It's so tight at this stage in the season. We're actually 18 games in, so as the championship always is, rather, it's so unbelievably difficult. And I think that just a good run at any stage is enough to move you nice and clear of the relegation zone. But also, still only a -4 goal difference, which is pretty good. When you look at the sides like Brighton, Huddersfield, Blackburn, they've been getting shellackings quite regularly. Whereas I think our biggest defeat is the 2-0 against Crystal Palace, and we've won games 3-1 a couple of times now. So we've got goals in us. We've just need to defend better, but today we've actually done that. MacLeod joins the club really soon. We've also got Schmidt, who's joined, and he looks awesome, guys. He's not going to be there yet, but again, we're signing a lot of players for the future, and that's because I'm really hoping this series has got some real longevity to it, which is why I hope to God we stay up in the Championship this year, because I would fucking hate to get sacked, because we really are building something great, and we've got a lot of quality youth players coming through, and I think that's going to be sort of sustaining us when our inevitable money problems take over. But if we get into the Premier League, that money is going to be there, but I'm going to invest that money wisely. We're going to try and stay up, of course, if we do get promoted to the Premier League. This is a long way in the future, of course, but the main plan there is we'll get a lot of money from television rights. We'll try and, in that first season, we'll invest that money into players to keep us in the league. After that, once we've got a team that's sort of steady and keep us in the Premier League without a problem, I'll be investing that money in bringing in lots of insane youth players. We're going to be scouting the world to try and find the best players from the youth intakes to bring them into the club, so we can bring in our own players rather than having to spend loads of money on players. Because look what Kieran Griffiths has done. In just a few short years of being in the team, like pretty much a season and a half, he's already probably one of the best players in the team. In fact, we can have a little look at that from our squad report, squad depth. For the one thing I do like is this current formation that was missing last year, and I love it. So if you look, Musonda is obviously the best there, but Kieran Griffiths is not far behind. He is phenomenal. I really, really like this player. His passing has gone up, his long shots are improving too, which is good to see, and his concentration. He's got the potential roaming playmaker. Now that is interesting. You see, they say he's good for that role, but his long shots are poor. His dribbling and finishing are poor. Composure, concentration, positioning, they're all not great. I don't really see him as good for that. For me, he's more of an advanced playmaker type of role, but he definitely has that playmaker type of style. I think that comes from things like his decent vision. He's also determined and has good work rate, so I'm massively happy with Kieran Griffiths. Still only worth 110k. He's got 8 caps for the under-21s for Wales, but I think it's only a matter of time before this lad gets a full cap for Wales. He has the potential to be a good Premier League centre midfielder. I don't doubt that at all. Rough challenges, well, I don't want him to get sent off. He's a bit inconsistent. I don't think he is. I think he's actually been quite good. Fairly selfish. Again, I don't agree with these. I think he's created a lot of assists. So I don't know. I'm pretty pleased with the way that he's developing. He's probably one of my favourite youth players so far. He's probably my favourite regen so far. We've got a few more that I'm really excited about, like Nathan Dodd, Grant Nichols, Rakawanwe. Oh, no, Rakawanwe isn't. He's a real player, isn't he? What we're talking about. Nicky Bull again. Alex Bass is a real player as well. We've got some great players. And in fact, let's just take a look at what Steve Weaver thinks, because he is good at judging potential and the like. So I like to just sort of get his opinion on these things. I don't really see Ryan Smith as our best player. He's not a good footballer. I really should have looked at that before we brought him in, but it is only a loan, so it's not like it's cost us a massive amount of money anyway. So there we go, guys. A relatively good day for... I mean, we've gone up in the league. We've got a lot of work to do, guys, I've got to say. Next month is December, which means it is full of games. So expect a big one. And it is Bradford City away that will be our live com for December. So what have we got next? We've got Crew away, who have had a great season considering they've come up with us. Peterborough at home, potentially winnable. Wigan at home, tough. Wolves away, tough. Sheffield United at home, tough. Bradford away, ooh. It's going to be a tough month. But we've got, what, 6 games? Yeah, 6 games. I feel like we can still do something. As long as we can just keep taking points, just picking up points. A point a game for me, and then plus like a point a game plus 4 for me would be enough to keep us up this season, basically. And at the moment, we are on for doing that. We've got 20 points from 18 games. That's about right. Like, I'd like to see us get further up the league if we can. So if we could get a good run going, that'd be sweet. But I don't expect it from us. That's what the point I'm trying to make here is. This is going to be a struggling season, and next year we can invest a little bit in the summer, having sort of assured ourselves there the youth players will be getting better. I think we'll start bringing through new players. It's going to be awesome, and I really think we're building something awesome here at Portsmouth, and we want to do it slowly and do it right, not rush it and get into huge trouble financially. We're going to do this the right way. Because there is the right way, the wrong way, and the rack-a-wham way, and I will see you guys in the next episode after I've just made that horrific joke. So, if you like what you've seen, please feel free to drop a like on the episode, and if you'd like to even more than that, please feel free to subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and St. Pauli in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and I will see you in the next episode for the Bradford City Livecon. See you guys then. Bye-bye.